Hello, this is Aaron from Lo-Fi and D.I.Y, and I'm going to show you today how I have a kit made to convert the FP1, the Fuji FP-1, to 2x3 graflok. And if you see, the FP1 was originally designed for packfilm, and it's a wonderful, very high quality professional lens, has a really great viewfinder, rangefinder. It's ideal for conversion. This is a very simple conversion. I also make a 4x5 graflok conversion. But this is a simple conversion. First, we start with this piece that I send you. Okay. And the first thing we do is we just simply remove the rails, the top and bottom rails. I'll show you those. Just unscrew them and lift them out of the way. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're revealing the mounting holes. You'll note that I actually have already removed, for expediency, the pack film back that comes standard in this camera. It comes out with 4 tiny screws, and I'll show you these. One of these tiny screws, 8 tiny screws. Those are the screws, they're very small. If you don't have a precision screwdriver of some sort, definitely get one. And as you're unscrewing things and using it, make sure you're using the right screwdriver because you don't want to strip anything out. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes. And that's all you have to do to remove the back. And now that we've done that, we've gotten one rail off. I'll go ahead and remove the second rail. Now, when you're removing these rails, if the nut falls out the bottom, there's a nylon lock nut underneath. Then just simply put it back in that hole and line it up and put it in the hole. And it shouldn't be terribly hard to do. Okay, so I've got the bottom rail. And make sure you keep track of which one's the top and which one's the bottom of the rails. You see these nylon nuts in the back? Make sure they're in when you put this on here. You will find that it just slips into place. You can kind of feel it click into place when you're putting it on here. Like that. And you'll feel it pop into place right there. Okay, I'm going to lay it back on its face so it's easier to do. Okay. And I'm going to just, again, for the sake of speed, I'm just going to put 4 of the 8 in, the 4 corners. And by the way, if you want to do it that way, it actually does work, just having 4 in instead of 8. It's really up to you. No problem with doing 8, but 4 should hold it pretty well. Okay, and when you're tightening it, make sure you don't over tighten. Just make sure it's just snug. You just want to hand tighten it and make sure you're not stripping out the plastic that it's going into. Okay, here's the next one. See, I'm just going right in that hole. Okay. Okay. And then we're putting in the 4 corners here. And like I said, if you have 8, you want to put in 8, that's great. And it's not a bad idea to magnify your screwdriver as I'm dropping the screw. And they're tiny screws, like I said, they're really kind of small. Let's go put that last one in. Okay, so now it's in place. It feels pretty firm. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the top rail. And when you're doing the rails, I like to just go ahead and tighten them down pretty firm. And then once they're tightened down firm, turn them about a half turn back so the slider will move. And just tighten it to your preference there. Okay, now it's sliding just fine. Okay, so I'm going to grab the bottom rail and do the same. Okay, and just back it out a little bit to make sure it can slide. Okay, now it can slide and lock. Okay, so basically the back is installed. That's as simple as that for the back. Now I want to show you, I set it up with a lens stop because there is a slight distance from the original film plane. So the front will have to have a lens stop so that the viewfinder will read correctly. Let's see here. Okay. And this is a lens stop that I've made for it. Now, with this lens stop, the one that you would get if you were to order this kit from me is you would get one in black. I'm just doing it in red because it's a lot easier to see. When I'm doing this, you'll note that I'm going to put this in this groove here, put it in this groove right here. It drops back down firmly in. I put double-sided adhesive tape on it, so you can just leave it locked in place and then remove it later at your leisure. But in this case, I'm just going to show you it with friction fit. Okay, so now that it's in place, I can go ahead and draw this forward, just as if I would normally do it, and bump it right up into the lens stop like that. Okay, now it's ready to use, and you can actually rotate the lens forward and backwards, everything that you need to do there. Now, just like the FP-1 normally requires, in order for you to close this door, you need to have this in the infinity position. Right there, it's marked. And so I rotated it back to the infinity position, and now you can leave that lens stop on there, and it should just close right up. So now it's closed up, and you've got the back on there. It is that simple. And now you can go ahead and shoot with this camera that had an obsolete film source. Of course, some people are lucky enough. I've got some film in my storage, but basically, it's nice to have other options for such a really nice camera. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching.